This video provides an alternative method of using the traditional pigtail. Now, the traditional pigtail typically comes with a male and a female, with a connection, and it comes with pre-strip leads. Now, the problem with this is often the particular length you need isn't right on both ends. For example, coming out of the controller, you may need to go further than the typical lead will allow you to go. Or coming out of the controller, you need to then go much further. For example, you may need to go many feet onto your specific lights. A better solution is to actually just purchase what are normally called extensions. So this is a 10-foot extension here, and it's just a length of wire, and it has the same male and female plugs, but it's one contiguous length. So, of course, if you end up hooking these together right here, then deciding, okay, maybe you need to come a specific length out. So maybe this is the perfect length for you, right? Or maybe this is the perfect length for you. So what we do is then just cut it. Now, what you'll want to do is before you cut it, determine which end you're going to cut so you have it consistent. So normally, the power output side coming from the controller will be these females, and that the strips or lights will have the male. So we are going to cut this end where it goes into the controller. So we've decided it's this far, and we'll just simply cut it. Then you just strip back the wire by cutting the sheathing, and now you can see that you have the exact same thing. You just then need to strip off the individual wires, and you can see this just takes but a brief second. So now what we have is we have the first leader coming from the controller out to the section, for example, like your controller board, your mounting box. Now what you can do is customize the length exactly the way you need it for this. This is the section that goes to your specific lights. Now, these may be the same. For example, you may have this controller in the center of a mega tree, and it's the same diameter all the way around, and the length of the cables don't change. Or it may be in the center of a tree, and then it has to go different lengths depending upon the way your controller is. So, you can customize this exactly. So what you'll then determine is the length of this cable here you want. Then you'll get it to that length, cut the extra section out. So here we ended up with just this little leftover section here. Do the same thing again. You'll cut back appropriately the right length of the sheathing. And then, of course, you'll go back and strip your individual wires. Now you have the absolutely perfect length. So, while it may seem intuitive that you would use these pigtails for use with extensions on controllers, it's actually generally easier to just purchase an extension that is already the exact length, that is, from your controller to the lights that you need. Additionally, this also means that you can purchase different lengths. So for example, you may need a 10-foot or a 5-foot. So one set of controller outputs might be 5 feet to this strip or light, and then over here on the other output it may be 10 or 20 feet. So again, consider extensions as a possible solution instead of the old standard pigtails, and save yourself some money, time, and hassle. Also, don't forget that in many cases you will need to cover these up, and you may need additional heat shrink tubing or other type items to seal the connections.